She never meant to send it. It wasn't a confession. It wasn't a cry for help. It was just one tired mistake made at the end of a long day. But when the message landed in the wrong place, it connected her to a man she was never supposed to meet and awakened a life neither of them planned. This is a story. It's about boundaries, attraction, trust, and what happens when love shows up quietly instead of loudly. Stay with me, because the mistake wasn't the most dangerous part. What they chose to do afterward changed everything. She never meant to send it, but it changed both their lives. She never meant to send it. The city had a way of pretending it cared while quietly draining people dry. Lights stayed on all night. Coffee shops opened too early. Elevators hummed like they were tired of lifting ambition from one floor to another. Somewhere between deadlines, invoices, and unread emails, Evelyn Carter had learned how to survive without asking for help. That night she was running on fumes. Her apartment smelled faintly of reheated noodles and citrus cleaner. One lamp glowed near the couch, the rest of the space swallowed in shadow. She sat curled up with her phone balanced in one hand, the other rubbing the bridge of her nose like she could massage clarity back into her brain. She had spent the day pitching ideas that were politely ignored, nodding through meetings where credit floated away from her like helium, and smiling at people who confused confidence with volume. By the time she got home, her patience was threadbare. All she wanted was to send a quick payment and sleep. The payment wasn't dramatic, it wasn't desperate, it was small, almost laughably so. A modest transfer meant as a quiet thank you for something that had helped her weeks earlier. No big speech, no expectations, just a short message typed with sincerity and zero drama. Her phone buzzed with a low battery warning. She sighed. Of course. Thumb hovering, eyes half closed, she skimmed the recipient details. The app auto-filled. It always did. She trusted it the way people trust streetlights to turn green eventually. She typed the message anyway. Something honest, grateful, human. Then she hit send. The screen flashed confirmation. For half a second, everything felt fine. Then her stomach dropped. She sat upright so fast the couch creaked in protest. No, 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 no. She checked the details again, zoomed in, scrolled, blinked. Wrong number, not a little wrong, completely wrong. Her heart started doing that annoying thing where it beat like she'd just committed a crime instead of a typo. She stared at the screen, willing it to unsend itself. It didn't. The amount was small, but the message was personal, polite, vulnerable in that quiet way that only happens when you don't think anyone important will read it. She groaned and dropped her head back against the couch. Perfect, just perfect. She debated pretending it never happened. The amount wasn't worth the embarrassment, and honestly explaining would feel worse than losing the money. She was already drafting a mental speech about letting go when her phone buzzed. One notification, from the wrong recipient. Her throat tightened. She hesitated, then opened it. I think this message wasn't meant for me. That was it. No emoji, no punctuation drama. Just calm clarity. Her face heated instantly. She typed back too fast, then deleted it. Typed again, deleted again. Finally, she forced herself to slow down. She apologized, explained briefly, asked if the transfer could be reversed, added a light joke at the end. Something self-deprecating, something to soften the awkwardness. Humor had always been her reflex when mortified. The reply came almost immediately. The money was returned. Relief washed through her so fast she laughed out loud. Then her phone buzzed again. Another notification, another transfer. This one made her sit up straighter. The amount wasn't small, not even remotely. She stared at the number like it might blink and say, "Just kidding." "There is absolutely no way," she muttered, standing up and pacing once, then twice, then stopping in the middle of the room with her hands on her hips like she was about to lecture the universe. She refused it immediately. Thanked him for returning what wasn't his, made it clear she wasn't comfortable accepting anything more. She expected silence. Instead, a response came. Not defensive, not amused, curious. Why refuse? She exhaled slowly and answered honestly, because accepting it would feel wrong, because money didn't get to decide how she handled her mistakes, because pride wasn't always stubbornness, it was sometimes survival. Across the city, in a high-rise that smelled like leather, glass and money, Lucas Reed stood barefoot near floor-to-ceiling windows, phone in hand, staring at the skyline like it had personally offended him. He had ignored most messages that night. Investors could wait. Invitations could expire. Nothing on his screen usually surprised him anymore, except this, a small transfer, an honest message, a refusal that didn't flirt, beg or hint. It was refreshing. He reread her words slowly. There was humor tucked between boundaries, intelligence beneath politeness, a backbone that held his attention more than anything else. He typed, deleted, typed again. When he finally sent the message, he didn't expect much. What he didn't expect was to smile. Back in her apartment, Evelyn read his reply and shook her head, amused despite herself. "Well," she said to the empty room, "this is officially the weirdest thing that's happened to me all week." She plugged her phone into the charger, stretched, and decided she'd deal with the rest tomorrow. Whatever this was, it could wait. She didn't know that one tired mistake, one message sent without thinking, had already nudged two carefully controlled lives onto a completely different path. She never meant to send it, but as the city hummed outside her window and her phone lit up again in the dark, she didn't set it down this time. If this story made you pause, if you've ever wondered whether the right connection can find you without force, or if you believe love doesn't rescue, it meets you where you are, then this story was for you. Leave a fiend in the comments if you believe mistakes don't ruin lives, sometimes they redirect them. And if you want more emotionally rich stories about love, choice, and unexpected connections, subscribe and turn on notifications. The next story might find you when you least expect it.